Welcome to the Poor Man's Cooking Show. I am your host, and today we're cooking curry. Today is curry flavour, it's tikka masala. Tasty. Chicken, single portion. Rice, this is 200 grams. This is to make so I have leftovers. And I believe this is 500 grams of sauce. This is all you're really going to need aside from water to fill this up, and that's it. It's going to take a bit of time. How much time? I'll let you know afterwards. But first things first, we're going to pop those there. Turn on our oven. Ka-chow. First of all, our boiling pan is going to be cranked all the way to 6. This is a rapid hob, just remember that, so it will heat up that a little bit quicker. And then this side we're going to have our chicken, which is also a rapid heating hob, and we're going to have that on 4. Lovely jubbly. Fill this up with some water, I'm not too sure, we'll have a look. Okay, so we've got about, I'm going to say a fifth, maybe sixth of our pan filled with water. We've now brought this up to 6, so it's going to be brought up to a boil. So it's going to take a moment. Lid on the top. That should help it heat up much quicker. And then while that heats up, we're going to cut up our chicken and stick it in this pan. A tiny little bit of oil never hurt anyone. Smallest amount, maybe a couple teaspoons, that's it. I'll be back once this is boiling and our chicken is ready to be stuck into the pan. So our chicken is now done. Here we are. It's cut into equal sized pieces, and we're simply going to pour it straight into here. Move our oil around a bit and it should sizzle straight away. You can either pop this straight in the wash or off to the side. We're going to stick it off to the side for now. And then using the spoon we have specifically prepared for chicken, mix it in like that. And then with that, we can leave these to sit here while they heat up gradually. Check on our pan, that is almost ready. Once it's boiling is when we add our rice. So, yeah. I'll be right back once it's time to add the rice. Okay, so this is now boiling. If you cannot tell, it's not all too obvious. Now a lot of people normally wash their rice. You don't have to. I'm going to wash it midway through. So just pour it all in. And depending on the size of your pan is how much area gets filled with rice. It's not too obvious, but there's enough rice to cover the entire base of the pan, which is pretty darn good. And what we're going to do is we're going to mix it in. You'll see the water turns cloudy and white. That is okay. While this is cooking, we're going to mix up our chicken, and it should turn white, as you can see from the edges. What we want that to do is become white all the way through, just because it's a white meat, and white meats, if are not fully cooked, are poisonous. So that is something to remember. Make sure you thoroughly cook your chicken or pork. So, fairly equal sized chunks, which I'm quite impressed. Stick that on there. Another thing you got to remember to do is keep mixing your rice. As you see, it is really bubbling now. It is starting to steam up, so I'm going to open up the window. Our chicken is cooking fairly evenly, which is lovely to see. That up, and our rice is on the way too. One thing you want to do after about 5 minutes is you want to try and scoop some rice up. As you can see, I can't because it's not yet cooked, and you can check it with your eyes. Depending on the colour of it, and how much it's grown is whether or not you stop and move on to the next step. So, mix. I'm going to cut right here, and with that I'm going to slap my hands, and the rice will be ready to move on to the next step, or the chicken will be done first. Whatever comes first. You having a good day? I know I am. Hope you are too. Okay, so it appears that the rice and chicken are both almost ready. Really did not take long. You know the chicken is almost done once it starts to brown on the edges. Let's go around and show you. So once your chicken starts to brown, I don't think you can see that all too well from how full the camera is. So that means the chicken is almost fully cooked. So we're going to leave that to do its thing. Just like so. And next we'll move on to the rice. So one thing you should know instantaneously is it is much thicker, and when you scoop it you get clumps. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to grab a fork, one clump, only a small amount, and what you're expecting is for it to not be crunchy or hard, but slightly chewy. Once it's slightly chewy, you know it's almost time, and we move on to the next step. For this, we're going to actually take off the heat and drain. One thing to note, you don't want to drain it all the way, you want to leave just enough liquid that it just covers the base, much like how we had our rice in the beginning. And then we're simply going to shuffle it like that. We'll pop that there. Use our spoon, and we're going to mix it, make sure nothing's stuck to the edges, like so, and then we're going to let it steam for the final moments. And then by the time our pasta is, oh, not our pasta, sorry, by the time our chicken and sauce are all done, so will our rice. Those up. Now the way how I know that it's fully done is I find the largest bit from this point, which appears to be you, and with a small little push it should split, and then check. Make sure it's not pink on the inside. Now you might have a few large bumps, and so you can just split those two, and they'll split like nothing. And you can also check them as well if you like. Stir this up, and then we'll drop our temperature down to 1. We don't want it off, but we don't need it to cook anymore. The next step will be with our sauce. To that hot. So you're going to simply add that in. It's going to sizzle, it's going to bubble, so that is okay. And oh my god, that smells delicious. Hello. So we need to mix that all the way in, like so. And then that will heat thoroughly and gently as well. Because of the residual heat that was left from having it set to 4, and only just now turning it down to 1, it's going to keep on heating even while it is on 1. Which is quite lovely. Now, while that's doing that, it is time to prepare our side, which is plain naans. Now I've actually got mini naans. So, nice little small ones. Pop this down, pull out our tray, turn on our grill. I'm going to turn mine all the way to the max because I like to cook quick. Now, one thing you should also notice is this is going to bubble, which is perfectly fine. Once it starts to, just mix it and it will stop straight away. But that is a good sign that it is heating all the way through. Next, we're going to prepare our naan. Simply wet the tips of your fingers, and simply flick it. May need to do this a couple times, but that will actually help it crisp up. And then we're going to stick it just on the edge there. Now, while we wait for our grill to fully heat up, then I'm going to take the lid off of our rice, mix up our rice, don't want it sticking. You still see it's still steamy and still cooking. Lid back on, and that's that. So yeah, our dish is going to be done in about 5 minutes, if that. Fairly quick, fairly simple, very little preparation needs to go in. Make sure you have clean utensils, and that's it. Okay, our Tikka masala sauce. Looking fairly hot. Pinky test. Nice. I'm actually going to turn off the temperature altogether, because that no longer needs it. And then we're going to pop this straight to our grill, because if you need to check, it should be red hot. We're going to give that 2 minutes. Okay. I'm going to guess that our naan is practically done. Turn off our grill as we no longer need it. Pull out our naans, which should be lightly toasted from the top. Yeah. And we'll pop those on the side. Like so. So stick that back in. Don't ever fully close your grill once it's been on. Trust me, never ends well. Mix this a little bit more. As you see, that is nice and steamy now. So all we're really waiting on now is the rice. Is the rice plain ball? To answer that question, yes it is. So our rice is now ready. Simply plate up the side of it, like so. And the rest we can leave inside the pan. Like this. Stick a lid on it to keep it nice and fresh. Tikka masala. Just need to scoop it. Take out half the chicken, because like I said, the other half will be going with the rest. And there we have it. One plate of curry. Now for me, it is night time, so have a lovely evening. See you all again soon. Bye bye.